What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and only Ash Said It, ashsaidit.com, ashsaidit.com. Welcome back to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for supporting the movement, which is Ash Said It. I appreciate that. Yes, over 250,000 streams worldwide would not be possible without you guys. So I thank you for that, and I appreciate you. And I was meaning to pull people from the net. Folks that are influential, people that have made their own name for themselves. Today is no different. I have founder and CEO of Dreams Recycled, the beautiful Miss Tiffany Beverlin. Tiffany.
Hi, Ash. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for passing through, Tiffany. Let our audience know, where are you from? Where do you represent?
Well, I'm a little bit all over the place. I'm actually originally from London. But I now live in Orlando, Florida, because obviously the weather's better. But the real reason is because I married an American and I have 3 children, and that's why I'm here. But it's a great country, and I'm very grateful to be here.
Thank you, and we're grateful to have you here. All right. So, Tiffany, let us know, where did Dreams Recycled start?
Well, Dreams Recycled started after my own divorce. Like many people, I had been a stay-at-home mom for many years, actually over a decade. And I was one of those, you know how we all are, we all think we're Little Miss Independent. So when I got divorced, I was like, oh, well, whatever, I don't even care. I'm just going to work and I'll, move on, and I don't want anything. And thought I could do it all. And then very, very quickly realized that the corporate world is not very welcoming when you haven't worked for a decade or more. Yeah, and so that's kind of where it came from. I was struggling to find a job. I was being told I was unemployable, which nobody wants to hear that on the back of a divorce.
No.
And I literally had a dream. I had a dream that I could not sell my engagement ring. And halfway through the dream, I was like, oh, well, I'll just sell my ring and everyone else's on a website called Dreams Recycled, and we'll make it this, cool place for divorcees, and we'll make it uplifting, because I kind of had been on the internet looking for help and support and stuff, and I found everywhere so dismal. And that's kind of how it was born.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. So when you first started Dreams Recycled, what kind of feedback were you getting from your peers?
Well, I think, it was a mixed bag. Some people were like, oh, that will never work. Why do you want to go to a happy place about divorce? That doesn't really, what is that about? But then other people were like, it's brilliant, it's genius, I want to go there. What can we do to help and whatever? And, in any career move or any aspect of your life, I think it's an important lesson to learn that you have to, tune out that negativity and tune out the naysayers and do what you really believe in. And I really believed in this as an idea and as a company. And even though I had no experience whatsoever, and I just kind of winged everything along the way. And I've just been very, very grateful for the amount of support and how much people love Dreams Recycled and what we're doing.
Absolutely. I mean, you've definitely created your own niche, and that's what I'm always telling people to do is, that you're good at something, or wherever your heart is, just go for it. Don't worry about what people are going to say. I think we get caught up sometimes in trying to figure out, well, this person doesn't like this, so I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to do that. Well, you're doing a disservice to yourself, really. When you get to, oh, well, you're not going to do this because this person says that. Who cares what they say?
Well, and we don't have to be. I think an important thing is, too, that you have to remember you don't have to be everything to everyone. I'm okay with the handful of haters because the majority of the people love it. And for the people who love it and it means something to them, that's who we do it for. Absolutely. And I think with any product, service, business, or whatever, you can have a niche. Not everybody has to like you, and be okay with that, right?
Yeah. So as you were in the building stages, and you and your team were pretty much trial and error, seeing what's working from what isn't working, what did you do to keep yourself motivated?
Well, I did many things. I mean, one of them is, like I said, you just have to have a very strong belief in what you're doing. Secondly, I I kept talking to divorcees, which is still what I do now. I've talked to over 6,000 divorcees personally, and I would go out and say, okay, what do you want? What do you want to see on the website? What would mean something to you? And so every divorcee I spoke to was more motivation to keep going. Every time I open the email and somebody's like, thank goodness for your website, thank goodness for your community, whatever it is, that kind of motivates you daily, because you see how much it's helping the people out there, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yes, definitely. So as things are continuing to grow for you, and you have this new realm, this new category that you've created for divorcees, and for maybe even anyone that's wanted to look up on the site and see some stuff that they would like to purchase, how were you able to find trust again after your divorce?
Well, it was a long process. I'm not going to lie and say it was like instant. It wasn't. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay to take time. I think it's okay to be by yourself, learn to love yourself. I'm a big proponent of dating yourself after divorce. And people are like, what is that? But it just basically means, you can date, you can go out, you can do whatever. But really, you should be spending the year or so after your divorce to really reconnect with yourself and love yourself again and heal and realize what went wrong, kind of analyze kind of the whole divorce and marriage situation, analyze your part in it, forgive yourself for your part, forgive your ex for their part, and move on as positively as you can. And I think it's, daily positive action, daily affirmation, that feeling that you're enough again. And I think that when you get to a place where you're completely healed without even trying, you will generally attract, not only better people, but the right person to you.
Good point. So as you are continuing to, to figure out oneself, and you're also helping people along the way, what was maybe the biggest highlight for you?
Wow, I don't know, so many. I mean, I think I hate to say it, but proving people wrong, right?
Yeah.
When people tell you can't do it, and how are you going to have a website? How are you going to have a company? How are you going to know this? Figuring out and being successful at it in many different ways has been ridiculously empowering. And what I tell people, we are all good at something.
Right.
You don't need to be good at everything. Just focus on the one thing you're good at and go for it. And I think one of the highlights was probably having my book published. So now I'm a published author, which is something I would never have done when I was married, or thought I could have done when I was married. And my book is My Dreams Recycled, and it actually tells the story of after my divorce until a few years ago, and how I recycled my life in a positive way. And it's a good read.
Awesome. And where can they go to purchase that book?
That's available at Amazon.com, and you can also buy it through our website, dreamsrecycled.com.
Cool beans. So, what is next on the agenda? Because I know that you're always innovative. You're always thinking of new things to touch on and new ways to touch people. What is the next phase of Dreams Recycled?
Wow, we are adding things almost daily. Like I said, we have such a good community. People give us good ideas. People ask for things, and we try and facilitate as many of them as we can. So we're expanding. We're already in all 50 states. We're expanding now into Canada and England. And we're also, in the next few months, we're going to launch things like Dreams Recycled Travel for divorcees, singles groups, so they can go, because people, after divorce, we had a lot of people saying they wanted to travel but not alone.
Yeah.
So we have that, and we're working on some retreats and other in-person things, because, there's nothing like a divorcee in a group of other divorcees, because we don't know your exact story, but we've all been there, and we all have empathy for that. And it creates a really good environment that, you can get support and move on and feel better about yourself generally.
Absolutely. So I would say now, after everything is said and done, and you've experienced so much, and you've taken so much from not only your own experience, but other people's situations and the way that other people look at life, what advice would you offer to any person now that's thinking about starting a business that may be unconventional?
Well, I would say that firstly, we're in a generation that we're so fortunate because we don't have to have a traditional education to be able to do anything. I'm 100% self-taught. I learned everything I know from the internet for free. It didn't even cost me any money. And so I would say, really research, take the advantage of the technology that's out there now. Research what you want to do. Make sure it's a good sound move. Believe in it, obviously, because if you're going to be working on any kind of startup, any kind of business, it's a lot of work. And if you don't wake up happy and wake up really believing in it, you're not going to have a good time doing it, and you probably won't be successful at it. So make sure it's something you really believe in. Use all the resources you can. And I was going to say, and lastly, ask for help. There's a lot of people out there. You and I connected on LinkedIn. People ask me to help them all the time. I try and help as many people as I can. I know that you probably help people in your arena also, because I think if you're genuinely trying to do something, there a lot more people will say yes than will say no.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, and I think another point of that too, taking it a step further, is patience. We live in a society today where people are just so hell-bent on just the microwave outcome. They just want it tomorrow. Oh, they have an idea. They want it to be fruitful today. And they don't put in the work, the sacrifice, the years of labor that goes into it, blood, sweat, and tears. And it's I don't know. I don't know when it's going to click in some people's heads, so that they understand that it's not overnight. Nothing happens overnight.
Yeah, you look at many people's, with the billionaires of the world, and you analyze their stories. I don't think any of them really happened overnight. Whether it's J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter, who was rejected, I think it was 12 times by publishers before she got a yes, or whoever it was. I mean, a lot of us in any kind of business, we might seem like we're very successful in the here and now, but there's always a backstory that goes with that. There's always failures. I've, failed as much as I've succeeded in the last 4 years. But we don't focus on that, right? You just keep moving on to the things that work out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you have to have, that mindset, and you believe in it enough to keep going.
Yeah, and what's really highlighting about your story is the fact that you said you actually took initiative to learn these things that you didn't know. And social media within itself that's a part-time job anyways. It is.
And I think anyone can learn that, and that's a valuable skill.
It is.
I talk to people, give career advice at colleges around here, and it's one of the things we talk about. If you can have any skill that you can teach yourself and actually has potential for a business long term, I would say social media, right? You will use it on a daily basis, but if you really start to look at it a little bit deeper, there are so many ways that you can monetize that or turn that into a business.
Yeah. And
it's a good skill to have anyway, because if you have a pizza shop or a strip mall or a doctor's office or whatever it is, you need social media nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way business can be and survive without being on social media in some aspect. And honestly, to be on social media isn't enough. Like, if you're not managing it, or if you don't have a social media manager, you just being on social media, you could be missing out on valuable leads. Valuable leads.
So, no, absolutely. And of course, LinkedIn is a great place to start.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you can do that for free, because I get one of the questions I'm asked most is, well, how do you start all these businesses or do these things with no money? But I think that there are ways that you can start with no money. Like I said, you can educate yourself online. You can join LinkedIn. You can start a following. You can get out there. And, if you have to do your regular job at the same time, that's fine, because we all have to do what we have to do.
Yeah.
But, as you start to monetize and make money in your kind of dream business and what you're passionate about, you can eventually phase out the other one.
Yeah. This is true enough. All right, Tiffany Beverlin. Tiffany, let everyone know the best way that they can get in contact with you if they need to book you for something, or possibly they want to collaborate.
Yeah, we love all kinds of partnerships, collaborations, and I do public speaking, and obviously you get my book. But you can connect with us on dreamsrecycled.com, And you can connect with me personally at tiffany@dreamsrecycled.com, which should be easy for everyone to remember.
Just check out dreamsrecycled.com. Tiffany, thank you so much for passing through. And much more success to you. I know that there's going to be more and more stuff coming up with you. You are more than welcome back on the program when you've got more stuff to tell us and some new stuff. You know, I'd like to break news. That's good. I like to be the breaker of news.
I will keep that in mind. And thank you so much for having me.
Definitely. And thank you all for tuning in to the Ash Said It Daily podcast show. I appreciate each and every one of you guys so very much. Keep in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face and tell them, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. Because this is what we're doing this for. We're doing this for the history books. Social media is nice, it's cool, it's fun, but real life is so much better. So much better. I love you guys. Stay tuned.